Everyone, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. All right, so let's continue talking about President Trump in Iran and what happened here. What President Trump has done, it's an interesting thing how people invent things all the time, right? And what President Trump has done is invented or brought back an old style of warfare, right? If this were Bush or Cheney or Clinton or Bush 1 or any of these other criminal presidents that we've had that are in bed with the military industrial complex instead of the great Donald Trump, they would have a military buildup in Iraq or somewhere else of U.S. troops trying to put together a coalition so the military-industrial complex could make boatloads of money. Trump drops 30 bombs, well, some from submarines, some from the bombers, but uses 30 bombs and boom, the war very well may be over with just 30 bombs. Now, those bombs cost a lot of money because they're super bombs and all that, I get it, but this is not the kind of wars that have been waged before. The only thing that came close, which was a little different situation, or dropping the bombs on Japan, avoided, those 2 bombs we dropped on Japan, avoided a massive invasion of Japan that would have resulted in God only knows how much loss of life on both sides at the end of the Second World War. But this right here, I know that everyone on television is saying, okay, it's all over, Trump dropped the bombs. We can't count on that. The Iranians are insane. And we still need more time to see how the Iranians are going to react to this. We already see they're launching rockets at Tel Aviv. Few got through. But if Iran did not learn their lesson with this attack yesterday, and they strike out at the United States, Trump is going to level them with airstrikes, massive airstrikes, a new shock and all, but a real shock, the shock and all, and boom, it's over, right? Yeah, I watched the news last night, Mr. Pep. There's a lot of people like Sean Hannity's so giddy for a war to start. I've never seen anyone so giddy for a war to start, But they were acting last night, if you were watching Fox, that, oh, that's it. He told them. Well, hopefully that's true. Hopefully that's true. But the days of sending in soldiers and Marines for ground operations were really beyond that. You're either at war or you're not. And if you're at war, you got to end it. And the past presidents we've had, it's not only that they're in bed with the military-industrial complex and they want a prolonged war to pay them back for all their political contribution, but they're also cowards, unlike President Trump. So no, the way President Trump did this was best for everyone. Yeah, there's a Pete Hegseth press conference at 8 a.m., but it's an hour and 45 minutes from now. Of course, we'll all be watching. Russia dropped Iran last week. They're out. Yes, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. No, we've never seen something like this. And this is the way you want to fight wars. We have not fought a war in this country against anyone with the true intention on winning the conflict since Truman dropped the A-bombs on Japan. That's it. We just haven't. All these wars have been waged in ways to prolong. Look at Afghanistan, 20 years. Remember, we have had troops in combat born after 9/11 when we pulled out of Iran. That's crazy. It's totally crazy. But that's what's been going on, and Trump's not going to have any of that. Not going to have any of that. You're either at war or you're not. Hey, we heard your stupid sentence the first time. If you keep repeating it, I'm going to have to dispense with you in the chat. No spamming, please. Just because someone doesn't respond to your stupidity doesn't mean we all didn't see it. Gringo is like the N word for white people. Only white people can use it. You must use the G word. All right. All right. Didn't learn. Gave him a warning, guys. Gave him a warning. No spamming, please. Cape Town, welcome. Well, you know, listen, nobody wants war or combat, and I don't, you don't. Who does, right? But Iran having nuclear weapons is so dangerous. Look at how insane they're acting all the time. When have you ever seen the Iranians act in a sensible, sane way? Never. Never. Mm-mm. No, it's not WMDs all over again. They've actually got them. Big difference. Big difference. Well, you know, hopefully Iran will get the message, but it's really hard to say. Well, Vamshi, you heard wrong 30 years ago. You can always trust in Trump. Trump said they were a week away from one weapon, 3 weeks away from 10. So that's that. Hopefully this is over. Wouldn't it be nice if it was over? That would be nice. Trump did the right thing. And not only did Trump do the right, well, who cares what people said years ago? Trump's the boss now. Iraq 2.0, it's not Iraq 2.0. We don't have lying war criminals in the White House and in the Defense Department like we had in the G.W. Bush administration. Yeah, keeping Iran from, you know, I love how these liberal assholes, they have no problem with Iran having nuclear weapons, but Trump's dangerous. You know, we've got more nuclear weapons than we could, you know, we don't use them. You cannot trust the Iranians not to use their nukes. It is a criminal act for Iran to have nuclear weapons, no doubt about it. I agree. It is a criminal act for them to have nuclear weapons. That's exactly right. Define liberal, asshole. That's the definition of liberal. Do you guys agree with that? Someone said define liberal. Now, most liberals are just uninformed, stupid people that hate America. That's a sentence. You can have a one-word sentence. That's right. We've been incredibly restrained. We had to use them in 45. You know how many lives were saved? Who knows? Could be 1 million lives saved. Mm-hmm. Most people that are liberals just don't know what's going on. They just don't know what's going on. Either hate the country, they don't know what's going on, they're ignorant of the facts. They've been brainwashed with false information in school. Mm-hmm. A variety of things. But the only people that are liberal that aren't completely insane are corrupt. There's a lot of corrupt liberal politicians, right? AOC for president of what? Her homeowners association? She's not even qualified for that. Yeah. Exactly. No, I'm married. My 29th anniversary is coming up. I can't imagine. I can't think of anything Trump's ever done that's been wrong. I mean, this was a smart move. You know, he had been warning Iran. See, the reality of the situation is Iran did not believe Trump. I was telling you guys this last week. Iran did not believe Trump. They have been lying with these fake negotiations for years, okay? And they just figured America that they could keep jerking us along with these fake negotiations. And Trump had enough. He had enough. I bet there's a lot of Democrats that have been getting phone calls from their Iranian handlers like, what did you do? What did you do? You're supposed to stop this. Now, on the last stream, I was talking about this, but I want to bring it up again because it's an important point. The Democrats are trying to make a big deal that President Trump didn't inform the Democrat leadership in Congress. There's not a legal requirement for the president to inform Congress when there's a military action. He has that authority as the commander-in-chief, as the president. However, there is a tradition of informing congressional leadership before military action. Now, President Trump did inform the Republican leaders, which we run Congress, so, you know. But it's very simple. He didn't tell the Democrats for one reason and one reason only. The Democrat Party is filled with Muslim spies who are working for China, who are working for Iran and these other, I mean, you know. He didn't tell Congress about the Soleimani mission in his first term. Let me ask you, if Tlaib or Ilhan Omar knew that we were going to bomb Iran yesterday, would they have kept it a secret, or would they have told the Muslim Brotherhood? What do you guys think? Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, do you think they would have kept it secret? What do you think? I think they would have told them. Yeah, they would have tipped them off. And I'm watching all these people on television, and there's even conservatives who are debating these Democrats about this, and none of them are saying the truth. The Democrats would have given the information to the enemy before the mission even started. That's why he didn't tell them. That's why. I mean, you know, I would just say it to them on television. You can't trust them. You cannot trust them. Now, make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. I mean, that's it. You just got to say it. I mean, you know, they're spies. They would have told them. They would have told them. Yep. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Now, those of you that are paid Patreon supporters of mine, don't forget you get commercial-free additions to all the podcast episodes. I uploaded a commercial-free podcast yesterday to the Patreon page, and I have a vlog that I'm going to upload today, available to all paid Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to support my program, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description. You get access to not just commercial-free editions of my podcast, but a lot of other exclusive things that I post nowhere else, including vlogs that I show nowhere else, like the one I'm going to upload later this morning when I go home. Yeah, there's a link in the description to my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow, patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow, and there's also a link in the description. And your support, well, thank you for it in advance. But yeah, so the United States, we have military technology, bombing technology like this, that we don't need to invade countries like they did Iraq and Afghanistan. We can do hardcore strikes. It saves a lot of lives. It saves a lot of American lives. And the country just does not fought wars this way. And if Iran has not learned their lesson and they continue to pull this crap, Trump's going to escalate with the bombing, and boom, he'll level the place if he has to, all without an invasion. They have no resistance to. Israel took out all their air defenses, and they say that Israel. I saw Jeffrey Toobin? That's in Israel. I saw on Fox early this morning. Israel says they have complete dominance of the skies in Iran. No constitutional violations. Just because some Democrat says so on CNN, no. Van Jones said on CNN last night, he said Democrats just don't understand. He said progressives. He says progressives just don't understand the threat of that Iran is. They're so obsessed with President Trump. He informed congressional leadership, which are the Republicans. And that's not, you know, he doesn't even have to do that. And look at that, there were no leaks. No leaks. Isn't that something? Now, we all knew it was coming. But I don't think the Iranians did. I don't think the Iranians suspected that Trump would act. When is, other than Trump's first term with Soleimani, when has the United States ever really gone after Iran? We've let Iran just run amok since 1979. I mean, think about it. All the problems in the Middle East, I know all these anti-Semites with, you know, here in the trolls in the chat will blame Israel for everything, right? They always want to blame the Jews. If you look at the Middle East, almost all of the problems in the Middle East today are because of Iran. Almost every single one of them. Maybe 99% of the problems are because of Iran. Backing all this terrorism. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, Iran is responsible for this. Yes. I mean, they're sitting on an ocean of oil, but they say they need nuclear energy. Give me a freaking break. Nobody believes that. For weapons. We don't care what the world thinks. In America, we really don't care what the world thinks. Who cares? Who in the world should we care about what their thoughts are on what America does or our president does? Weapons. It's not a military-industrial complex war when they drop, like, what, 33 bombs? That pisses off the military-industrial complex. They want to drop 3,300. We have more oil in the United States than any other country in the world. All these talking points. It's amazing. Liberals just don't have their own thoughts. Just vacuous talking points. I mean, you would have to be a complete moron not to know that Trump was going to do something like this. The Iranians brought it on themselves. They were saying this week, no deal, nothing, we can't have any deals, there's nothing to talk to the United States about. Well, they better start doing something now. That's right. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. It is America first. You know, I love all these liberals that all of a sudden liberals want America first and honor the Constitution. They've been telling us the Constitution was irrelevant. It was written by white racist, white supremacist slaveholders for the benefits of maintaining white supremacy. Now they hold it up as a holy document. Give me a break. This is not a new war. We've been in a state of war with Iran since 1979. It's not a new war. My goodness, what were you born like yesterday? We've had a non-stop war going on with Iran since 1979. That's it. It's fact. Almost 50 years. It's not a new war. Ever since they took our embassy. Now, let me ask you guys, yes or no, do you think that that Iran will accept this and say, okay, we lost? Or do you think Iran is going to respond militarily against U.S. assets? Will Iran, here's the question, will Iran respond and retaliate against U.S. assets? Yes or no? What do you guys think? It'd be the dumbest move they ever made. Biggest mistake they've ever made. Respond, yeah. The chances are it will happen. The chances are they will, because they're crazy. They're completely nuts. It'd be a big mistake. Well, a response by Iran could mean their terror cells they have around the world. Trump very well may have just saved the world from World War III. Very well may have. If Iran had finished that, just one nuclear weapon, they would nuke Israel. I don't know why. Why do they hate Jews so much? I don't understand. Why do the Iranians hate Jews so much? No, MAGA hat made in the USA. It's an official, any MAGA hat you buy from the Trump store, the official Trump store, is made in the USA. If you don't buy it from the Trump store, it may not have been made in the USA. If it was made in China, so what? Made in the USA. It's federal crime to put a tag made in the USA on a product that's not made in the USA. So I don't think, I think if the president was committing that crime on his official store, they'd be all over him, wouldn't you think? Exactly. Exactly. Chances are Iran will retaliate because they're insane. They don't see things clearly. But why do Iranians hate Jews so much? Does anyone know? I really don't know. What's the root cause of their hate? You know, I was watching the Middle Eastern map on TV last night when they were showing where the strikes were in Iran. You can hardly even see Israel. It's so tiny. Why do the Iranians hate Jews so much? Good question. Do they even have do they just blindly hate, or is there a stated reason? Do they have a stated reason why they hate Jews so much? Oh, Ilhan Omar. Yeah. Israel doesn't hate. No, they do not hate. They would like to have peace with the people of Iran. It's not the people; it's their government that's the problem. Yep. Make sure that you guys subscribe who are new to my channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Yes, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is going to have a press conference at 8 Eastern Time. I hope he takes questions. That should be a good one. Israel has a couple hundred nuclear weapons. They don't use any of them, right? They show incredible amounts of restraint. It's amazing. I don't know how they do it. It's a tiny little country. You know, all these people that say that Pete Hegseth, like somebody here just said that Pete Hegseth has a drinking problem and everything else. Trump, has never had a sip of alcohol in his life because of the tragedy with his brother. And I remember on the Celebrity Apprentice, he had done, who is Kim Kardashian's sister? The one that's like, everybody is big. She doesn't look like the other ones. I forgot her name. Chloe? Is it Chloe? Well, anyway, on the Celebrity Apprentice one season, Khloe Kardashian was on, and President Trump found out she had a DUI. He fired her from the show because she had a DUI, because he didn't think it was good. It was not good to give her a platform when she did that. Isn't that something? Trump does not allow people with drinking problems around. I was amazed he did that. I was so surprised. Yeah. Drunk on MAGA. That's right. Now, those of you that are paid Patreon supporters of mine, I got a vlog I made yesterday. I'm going to upload to my Patreon page for Patreon supporters later today. When I get home, I'll upload it. So if you want to become a supporter of my channel, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description of the video. Patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow is the URL. Patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow, but there's a link in the description of the video. Become a Patreon supporter and get access to, if you're a paid Patreon supporter, you have access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes and all the other exclusive content, like my vlogs I do, that I don't upload anywhere else. You know, if future presidents, when military action is needed, do it like this, the world would be a much better place. I mean, you know, it just is so difficult to watch those Wounded Warrior commercials, right? Isn't it? It's just awful, you know. And Bush did that. Bush did that. Was it Courtney? Which is it Courtney Kardashian? The Kardashian that's the big girl. People used to think OJ was her dad. Courtney, is that Courtney? I don't know. But he made the points important. President Trump fired her because she had a DUI. Whichever one. I think Chloe. Yeah, Courtney's the skinny girl. Yes. Why would you hate America? It's the greatest country in the world, America. I don't understand why anyone would hate this country or President Trump. I mean, give me an example. I asked this question yesterday. I didn't get an answer. Just in Trump's second term, not anything else in his life, in his second term so far, what is one thing he's done that has not been good for the American people? One thing Trump has done in his second term that's not good for the American people. Can you think of one? There isn't one. The wages are up. Wages are up. Tariffs are not against the American people. Tariffs work. Look at all these deals he's made. China signed, UK signed, other countries have signed. Yeah, you can't think of anything. I know. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing, because he is an America first president who puts Americans in America first. That's right. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Press 1 if you love President Trump. I can't press 1, but if I could, I would. Press 1 if you love President Trump. Oh, my goodness. He makes us proud every day. No, there's no other choices. Just 1 if you love President Trump. There's no other choices. All numbers are 1. A lot of MAGA love, a lot of Trump love there. Look at all that Trump love. Awesome. Lots of Trump love. There's no other choices, so every number that somebody puts in there, I'll assume, is Trump love. Yes, yes, yes. France, welcome. Welcome. See, a lot of the conservative influencers that are younger, they don't have a context of the history with Iran. We've been at war with Iran since 1979. They've always been a problem. Always. They back about 99% of the Islamic terrorism around the world is Iran. Germany, welcome. And they need to be brought in check. The Iranian people are fine, I'm sure. It's their government. It's their government's the problem. It's true. Oh my goodness. Like when I was just a little kid, but when Iran had the American hostages from our embassy in Tehran, that was awful. It was a national embarrassment. Jimmy Carter screwed that one up. It was awful. People have no idea. 444 days of humiliation. Yeah. There's a Canadian TV movie that you guys should check out. It's called, I'm not sure what the title is. It's called something the Canadian Caper, about how, some of the Americans didn't get captured. They escaped the embassy and made their way to the Canadian embassy, and the Canadians snuck them out. It was pretty good. No, not that Ben Affleck movie. But no, it gives you, it shows them taking the embassy. I mean, it was awful, and it was avoidable. No, not the one with Ben Affleck. That was another one. This was a Canadian TV movie. It was made in the very early 80s. No, that wasn't what they did. No, it wasn't the Ben Affleck movie. No. Some of the Canadian embassy staff hid Americans in their homes, and they smuggled them out as passing them off as Canadians. I can't remember. It was called something the Canadian Caper was the name of it. I can't remember the first part of the title. I'm sure it's probably on YouTube for free. But you get to see, there's a lot in the beginning about how they took the embassy, which you don't get to see too much. Front line, you got pilots dropping bombs from bombers and guys launching them off submarines out in the ocean. It's amazing. That's how you wage wars. We've got the weapons. We don't have to send in soldiers. I bet you Candace Owens is freaking out right now. She's probably having meltdowns. This is our affair. You cannot let Iran get a nuclear weapon. Yeah, Argo. It's not Argo. No, it's not Argo. That's the Ben Affleck movie. It's not that one. The UK, welcome. Oh, my coffee is kicking in, which I definitely need. Why do you feel sorry for the American people, Scott? I mean, you're in the country that has fallen as part of the caliphcy now, right? I mean, the UK is now, England is now part of the Muslim world, and you feel bad for us? I don't think so. Our country has just been reborn with President Trump. And I thought that was really cool what President Trump did. He came out with JD and Marco and Pete Hegseth, and really that was nice. That hallway is. I've been in that hall. Any of you guys been in that hallway where the president was with the red carpet behind him? That's where, if you're facing where President Trump was, you go down that hallway. To the left is where they have all those rooms, the blue room, the yellow room. At the end of the hallway is the dining room. And it's really cool. It's really cool. And I remember when I was there, I was standing there where the podium was, and I was like, wow, he's facing like where the East room is. Yeah, he's facing the East room. But he's in the hallway. It's really tiny, the White House. It's like a dollhouse. It's so tiny. I cannot wait for Trump to finish his ballroom that he's building with his own money. And did you notice last night when the breaking news was going on and they were showing the White House live from outside, from like above? For the first time, I saw it at night live with those great flagpoles that President Trump put up. Did you see that with the American flag? That was really super cool. That was super cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to believe they weren't. They're massive, man. They looked really good. Oh yeah. The press conference with Pete Hegseth is at 8 a.m. Eastern today. That will be very, very good. Mm-hmm. It'll be very good. Depending on what happens in the press conference, I may be back later after the press conference later today when some things develop. So keep an eye out. And of course, I'll be on the air tomorrow taking calls. But I may be in and out on YouTube today with the developments. Everybody rushed to do a YouTube feed last night. Like even Patrick Bet-David and everybody. And you got to let things develop a little bit. Everybody last night was just going online to just get views. You got to let things develop and get the information. Just don't go on there and just to be on. Oh, there's breaking news. I better get on and have it in the title. Everybody was clickbaiting, right? I could have gone live last night, but I wanted to let things play out a little bit and get more information. Not just put something in the title and a thumbnail and clickbait people in. I've read 1984. Yes. Yes. And the real 1984 was nothing like the book, thankfully. Mm-hmm. Animal Farm is about the best book ever written. You want to understand liberals? Go read Animal Farm. It's a quick book to read, too. Grapes of Wrath, I'd rather watch the movie. Mm-hmm. Animal Farm is, I would say, probably the best, most important book ever written, other than, of course, the Bible. But you know what I mean. Oh, it's all about liberals. All pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others. That's a line from Animal Farm. It's about communism, really, but it's liberals are communists, so it's about liberals. Liberals are communist. That's just the way it is. Well, I'm sorry you're insulted. Sorry. Give that wokester a tissue. He's crying. He's insulted. This is a venti hot blonde Americano with 5 shots of espresso and extra cream. And it's really nice out. It's like in the 80s. The only reason I'm wearing the jacket, if I'm wearing a Trump shirt, when I go to Starbucks, I wear the jacket so I can hide my Trump shirt. So they give me real coffee. The Starbucks I was going to for years, I used to live stream from there. They found out I was MAGA, then all of a sudden I'm getting decaf. They wouldn't tell me it was decaf, but I could tell it was decaf, you know? So when I go to Starbucks, I'm undercover MAGA. That's what they do. You can't trust liberals. I could tell because I get a headache, the withdrawals, it was, you know. That's how liberals are. Nasty. Nasty, sick, twisted, evil people. Any little power they can have over people, they abuse it. Right? Fell on? Who did Trump fell on? What does that mean? I don't understand that word. No, conservatives don't do that. If some Turning Point USA kids were working at Starbucks and Democrats came in, they would not give them decaf if they ordered regular coffee. They would treat them with the proper respect and represent you. You know, MAGA people, you've always wanted, you know, when you're wearing a MAGA hat or a MAGA shirt, you're representing the president. So, you know, you don't want to go out and act like some kind of asshole. You want to be a gentleman or a gentlelady and show respect and decency to people and don't fit into their stereotype. That's why when I went to the, I went undercover at the No Kings March, and this MAGA woman drove by and she's like, F you, mother effers. You know, if you watch my vlog on my Patreon, you can see. And I talked, I said, no, don't feed into their stereotype. Don't give them that. Oh yeah, Trump is the great MAGA king. I'm fine with that. Oh, here comes the street cleaner. Trump is a gentleman. Absolutely. Who did Trump grab by the you know what that didn't want him to? You know, do you have like a listening comprehension problem? Because what Trump said to Billy Bush, it was his first. He was in Hollywood when The Celebrity Apprentice first became the #1 show on television, and he was talking about how now that he's a TV star, how different it is for him in Los Angeles. And he said in Hollywood, all these wannabe actresses, when you're famous, they'll let you do anything. They'll let you grab them by the pee. That's how he was. It was a commentary on how skanky the women of Hollywood are. Alpha Collectibles gave a $5 super chat, thank you. He says, I tell people that we should not have illegals we don't know in our country, and I'm Hispanic, and I am told to get deported. Yeah, well, if you're in the country illegally, you're good. Thank you for the super chat. Go back and listen to the Access Hollywood tape. Go and listen to it. It's exactly what he was saying. Only veterans should talk about politics? Really? What is this, Starship Troopers? You got to be a veteran to be a citizen? What are you talking about? That is a fact. Go and listen to the Access Hollywood tape. I'm sure there's a million videos of it here on YouTube. After I'm done streaming. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe, guys. Street cleaner. Yep, Trump 2028, baby. Sounds good to me. Yep. Yep. Well, you know, Pete Hegseth, his press conference could be very important because we're going to get a lot more details on the operation. But I would say by the middle of the week, we're going to know if Iran is really going to retaliate. I'm not including what these rockets they launched into Israel as retaliation. Oh, I muted the mic while the truck was behind me. It was getting really loud. I couldn't even hear myself think. I don't know. We'll know in a couple days if they're going to retaliate against the United States. But if they, I hope they don't. I hope that Iran does not retaliate against the United States. But if they do, Trump's not going to put up with that crap. Not going to put up with it. Well, listen, guys, I want to take off, but I will be back later today, okay? If you're new, again, subscribe. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you later. Take care. Thanks for watching.